Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Alvin. I'm a part-time reseller here in Singapore, and today I want to talk to you about scams, particularly on eBay. Let's get this clear. Are scams really that common on eBay? Not really. But in this video, I'm just going to share with you my journey, my stories of what certain situations are, and the situations that I think they are scams may not be monetary scams, so to speak, but if they waste your time on eBay, I generally think they are scams. Not to say that when you provide customer service on it, that is a scam. That's not the case, because on eBay, when you sell something, you do need to do some customer service, I would assume, because you are providing a product to the buyer. Having said that, with eBay, you ought to know that because you are sending someone an item, you do need to provide tracking number. So with that in mind, I will urge every one of you to use QExpress, which I did a video on that over here. And for that reason alone, tracking number matters on eBay. If you want to know more of my journey on eBay and all sorts of shenanigans that I do when it comes to buying on eBay, selling on eBay, buying, unboxing, do consider subscribing. Let's get on with the video. First up, scams are not that common. I'll be very frank with you. It's not like I'm selling 10 items a day and then every time it pops out 2 or 3 different problems, so to speak. But few and far between, you do encounter the weird situational incidents, I'll call them, because when you do encounter them, you might not know what to do, particularly for those newcomers to eBay who want to sell for the very first time on eBay. I did a video on what you should do before you sell, and if you have a 0 rating, you should probably look at this video that I did. And with that in mind, the first thing that I generally would receive is non-payment, particularly for those that accept my best offer and they don't pay. For that, because due to the nature of my niche, which is selling collectibles and toys and figurines, I do tend to turn on best offer, partly because I want to see what's the offer like from the various potential buyers. And with that in mind, handling best offers, coming the winter seller update, if you want to accept or send a best offer, you do need to have a payment detail on it before you can actually send the best offer, which is kind of a good thing for buyers, which might put off a lot of other potential buyers, but we'll see how that goes. But previously, this wasn't the case. So buyers can actually send best offers and they don't pay. That's pretty annoying for sellers like us who've been selling on the platform. And for newbies like yourself who are starting out, it might be very annoying. For me, because it happens, and it still can get annoying. It's not that it isn't, but with that in mind, the buyer does have up to 4 days to pay for the item. And you might want to look at this video to see what you should do when a buyer does not pay. In short is you can actually cancel the transaction, but how to cancel it, you might want to look at that video before anything else. But yeah, you just bear in mind that the buyer has up to 4 days to pay for the item, and anything more than that, you should not wait. Let's put it that way, because you need to release the item, which is kind of annoying because you have to wait so many days for that. The second scam that you would have to deal with is potentially the buyer actually asks you to deal outside of eBay. That one, it's a little tricky. For newbies, like if you're actually going to start selling on eBay, you're trying to get your ratings up, you're trying to get your account in good standing order, you're trying to up the limit on your selling the listings and everything, the amount itself, because with all new sellers you only got $500 worth and 10 listings. You do try, I mean you really do need to try to have everything settled on eBay. I myself also would tend to transact everything on eBay. But of course, if let's say a deal comes along, the buyer kind of contacted you through eBay and say they want to do an outside deal. First and foremost, eBay does not allow such things. And if they find out that you are dealing outside of eBay through the contact page, you will get banned. For how many days, it ranges, but you will have a ding on your account, so to speak. But of course, for me, I've actually dealt with it before. The only way to be really protected by any sort of payment dispute, or for the matter, even if the buyer does not pay, want to send you by check or anything, wait for the item or the payment to be processed and fully paid to you first before you send out the parcel. That's one thing you need to get straight. The parcel, once it leaves your hands, you have no control over it. So what you have control is the payment. Payment, if somehow the good old buyer thinks that he wants to do a bank transfer, he wants to pay by PayPal outside of eBay, I'm talking about outside of eBay, you do need to realize that it's outside of eBay. eBay has no protection for you. Of course, the listing fees is, you have to weigh the pros and cons, whether you want the listing fees deducted or you want to gain more from the without the listing fees, and then it's a chicken and egg thing, I'll put it. But for yourself, if you do want to take the deal outside of eBay, make sure that the payment is processed fully before you send out the parcel. And if there's any dispute because you've not gotten your payment after you send out the parcel, that's on you. I'll be honest with you, that's on you. So you just need to bear in mind that this scam, I'll call it, to deal outside of eBay, you need to be prepared that once the parcel is out of your hands, is lost if the payment is not with you. Okay? The third thing that I want to talk about is item not as described. INAD, we call it. It can happen to anyone. Touch wood, so far in my journey on eBay, I've been selling quite actively part-time since I think January 2021. So far, I've not encountered as such, but I've encountered some buyers that actually contacted me that the item has missing parts, the item has broken parts, the item came to them in not satisfactory, good condition, I'll put it that way, because the collectibles that I sell have been kept in storage for God knows how long. And if you're wondering, yes, there are instances that the figures can get broken. I've done a video on why you shouldn't even collect, so to speak, because it's pretty big deal, because in Singapore it's quite humid and we don't really have we don't have 4 seasons of weather, spring, summer, autumn, winter. You don't have that. So it's always hot, and then it just damages quite a few figures, so to speak. Anyway, if the item is described as unsatisfactory and then there's a dispute over it, what you should do first is, I genuinely believe that all buyers do wish to have some sort of, they when they buy the product, they actually want it in good standing order, and then they receive the product is broken, is spoiled. It's in your best interest to actually contact the buyer and then see how you can mitigate it. The fact is, when you send out an item, it could be the fact that the figure was broken when it opened from the box. For that reason, in my case, I've done quite a few things. First, I will contact the buyer and then look at pictures. Ask them to take pictures of it. Usually, technically speaking, they will not take pictures when they do a dispute. So you need pictures of your product. So when they take a picture of it, then you have to see whether the item is truly spoiled. And then you have to take the initiative to see whether you need to do a refund or partial refund or even do a return. For me, I generally don't do any returns. None of my listings, even though I'm consistently one of the best sellers on eBay, I have the badge to prove it apparently on eBay, I do not enjoy the further 10% of my listings, I guess, because I do not accept any returns. Free returns, so to speak, because the free returns for an international seller is a killer. The parcel shipped to and fro, receiving back, it's going to be a nightmare. It's not worth it. But if the item do get returned, you do have the option of and then let's say if you accept the return and then it gives back to you, you do have the option of refunding 50% of the item to the buyer. Up to I'll put it. It's your own discretion, as for me. So generally, I do not wish to have the item already. So more than likely, I'll just do a refund, given the facts of what the item, how the item is broken and everything, or is in missing parts and anything. Though, yeah. For that matter, the very first thing you should do is to not ignore the buyer's dispute or the message. Having said that, there are some instances where the buyer has claimed that the item is fake. I have 1 or 2 times that the buyer has commented and asked to tell me if the item is fake, or they insinuate that the item that is not a real product, is not manufactured by the company, is a copy from somewhere. For that, I do have strong words for them, but I do tell them kindly that in my listings, I do put what you see is what you get. I do tell them that these are kept with me for a very long time. But because of the product itself, I've taken actual pictures of it, not stock photos. I've taken actual pictures of it. I've sent them the actual item. And then if they claim that it's fake, that's on them. Because what I've provided is the actual product that I've listed on eBay. And for that reason alone, when this sort of thing happens, you should ask them for pictures. Pictures paint 1,000 words. Because usually when they tell you that it's fake, they don't usually attach pictures of it. So you do need to ask them for pictures. So that's one thing to mitigate it. Usually this sort of scam, so far when I've dealt with it, once I've told them off or tell them that it is what it is, they usually don't reply back. So that's how I deal with it. You may approach it differently, but that's how I deal with it. The next one would be leaving bad ratings. It has happened to me before. And the bad ratings, you have to take it on your chin that it can happen. There is a saying goes that if the seller has 100% rating, usually that something's not right with the seller. Usually if the seller has like a 99% or 98%, means that the seller is selling. You know what I mean? It's something that it's not really truthful that a seller can have 100% rating. No seller, long-time seller on eBay has 100% rating. I'll put it that way. But if a buyer actually leaves a bad rating for you, you have to see what is the rating like. For instance, if the rating says the item is not delivered, so you have to check whether is it delivered. And if it's delivered and he still left a bad rating, you could technically ask eBay through live chat to see whether they can remove it, because it shows that it's delivered and yet they're saying it's not. But if let's say the item is not delivered, you basically have to suck thumb and just refund him because somehow it has lost. It got lost. It's not that I've not dealt with it before. It's the fact remains that, over the course of my selling journey, I have lost parcels before. Just en route to the buyer, it just got lost. It's the name of the game lah. When you send something, not every parcel will get delivered. So once it gets lost, you just have to file a claim with the postal service and then see how that goes. That will be another story altogether, because I have a few that I'm trying to claim. Then once I get that claim, I will do another video altogether. So if you want to see that video, you please do like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. So for that bad rating, you could technically ask eBay for help, or you could ask them to change their rating if once you have dealt with the buyer or given some sort of satisfactory, solution to the buyer. So that's one thing I think you should, at least from what I understand, is when it's left a bad rating, it's as simple as this: the buyer wishes for something to be done, and if you ignore such things, it will ding your account. So anyway, for bad ratings, it's case by case, and you have to see the situation. Last but not least is eBay chargeback. eBay chargeback, it's something new, even new to me, because it's not that it happens often, and it has happened to me not too long ago. A $1,600 item was initiated to me somehow. This stupid buyer, I'll call him stupid because it is a scam after all. He actually initiated this chargeback. He proclaimed that he did not recognize the transaction. It was disputed on eBay. I have the whole video. I'll link it over here. It's short and short is eBay, because I'm on the seller protection policy. I've done my due diligence. I've done all the necessary steps. That's why eBay released the funds to me. Not to say that I won the case. I did not win the case. Chargebacks on eBay, you will never win, because it's disputed by the payment provider. The payment provider will always cite the buyer. So for that reason alone, you will never win such case. What you can mitigate is all the necessary evidence put forth to the payment, the dispute itself, which is only on one JPEG, which is a bit weird. Maybe that eBay should sort that out. For others, eBay will look at the transaction and see whether you've done the due diligence on your end to figure out every single step that you did that is prime and proper, and then hopefully eBay will cite you. Let's say if eBay does not cite you for that reason, talk to eBay. You have to ask them what was the reason why I wasn't protected by the eBay seller protection scheme. For that, you have to, when the time comes, hopefully touch wood it does not. When the time comes, you should ask eBay. And the fact that remains is, before you do anything and you're not sure, I believe in the system. Much as everybody thinks that eBay is very difficult to sell on, there's always bad news versus the good news. I will put it to you that when you sell on eBay, usually you are protected. Usually, if you followed all the steps. So even for me as an international seller who primarily only sells internationally, I don't even sell locally. I can't actually, because I'm fighting against all the US sellers, the UK sellers, and the Australia sellers, and I'm still every month still selling on eBay. Every week I still try to get, my last week was about $2,000 worth. I sold $2,000 worth. I sold the previous week. I sold about $1,000 worth. So it can work if you put your mind to it, which I will do another video on eBay and what you should do before you even sell on eBay. So anyway, these are all the scams that I've gone through, so to speak. And yeah, if you have any other situational scams or anything that is very troubling on eBay that you want to share, do comment below. Do like this video. Do share this video to any of your people who are planning to sell on eBay, who are selling on eBay, has trouble with some of the disputes and transactions and why they are not getting the correct response share this video to them. Do consider subscribing. I'm going to talk more about eBay going forward. And take care, everyone. I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.